Bees are tiny architects of ecosystems, highlighting their ecological and cultural significance and mentioning their role as pollinators. The audio then delves into their physical characteristics, describing their hairy bodies, wings, compound eyes, antennae, proboscis, and stingers, as well as their size diversity. When we picture a bee, we often imagine a bustling hive, a symbol of community and cooperation. Yet, this is only one facet of their incredibly diverse world. The vast majority of bee species, over 90% in fact, do not live in colonies at all. They are solitary, each female a queen in her own right, single-handedly building a nest and providing for her offspring. Among these remarkable loners are the mason bees. Named for their unique construction methods, a female mason bee meticulously gathers mud and other natural materials, building a series of secure cells in pre-existing cavities like hollow reeds or holes in wood. For each cell, she provisions a nutrient-rich loaf of pollen and nectar, lays a single egg, and then seals the chamber, creating a safe nursery. Her work done, she will never meet the young that emerge the following season. This solitary strategy has been perfected over millions of years, a testament to individual resilience. Equally fascinating are the leafcutter bees, nature's tiny, precise tailors. With surgical precision, a female uses her mandibles to snip perfect circles from leaves. She isn't eating them. Instead, she carries these pieces back to her nest, using them to line each brood cell. This leafy wallpaper creates a protective, antifungal environment for her young. Like the mason bee, she provisions each cell with food, lays an egg, and seals it off, a solitary mother ensuring the next generation's survival. Then there are the powerful carpenter bees, often misunderstood as simple pests. These robust bees excavate tunnels in dead wood or bamboo to create their nests. While they can sometimes choose man-made structures, they play a vital role as pollinators. The males, recognizable by a patch of yellow or white on their faces, are famously territorial. They may perform intimidating dive-bombing displays to ward off intruders, but it's all bluster. They lack a stinger. The female does all the excavation and provisioning, a solitary architect and provider for her brood. These solitary species showcase the fundamental ancestral lifestyle of bees, a life of independence and self-reliance. But evolution has also favored cooperation, leading to the emergence of social species. Occupying a middle ground are the bumblebees, which form small annual colonies. In the spring, a lone mated queen emerges from hibernation. She finds a suitable nest site, often an abandoned rodent burrow, and single-handedly raises her first brood of daughters. Once these workers mature, they take over the duties of foraging and nest maintenance, allowing the queen to focus exclusively on laying eggs. The colony grows throughout the summer, but its life is fleeting. By autumn, after producing new queens and males, the entire colony perishes, leaving only the newly mated queens to carry the legacy into the next year. At the apex of bee society, however, are the honeybees. They have achieved a level of organization so complex and integrated that the colony itself is often considered a single superorganism. Inside these perennial cities of wax lives a highly structured society built upon a rigid caste system. At its heart is a single, long-lived queen. She is the mother of all, capable of laying up to 2,000 eggs a day. Her primary function is reproduction, but she also governs the colony through a complex language of pheromones, chemical signals that maintain social harmony, suppress the reproductive capacity of her daughters, and signal the colony's overall health. The vast majority of the colony's residents are the workers, sterile females who are the queen's daughters. Their lives are a marvel of age-based division of labor. A young worker begins her life as a house bee, first cleaning cells, then graduating to become a nurse, feeding the developing larvae. Later, she may build the intricate wax comb, process nectar into honey, or take up the dangerous post of a guard bee, defending the hive entrance. Finally, in the last phase of her short life, she becomes a forager, venturing out to gather the nectar, pollen, water, and resins essential for the colony's survival. And finally, there are the drones. These are the male bees hatched from unfertilized eggs. Larger than the workers with massive eyes designed to spot a queen in flight, they have but one purpose: to mate. They perform no work within the hive and are fed by their sisters. On warm afternoons they leave the colony to gather in specific areas, waiting for a virgin queen to fly by. Theirs is a tragic existence. Success in mating means immediate death, while failure means being forcibly evicted from the hive by the workers as winter approaches, ensuring they do not drain the colony's precious food stores. From the solitary mason to the honeybee superorganism, the social structures of bees are a profound illustration of evolution's diverse solutions to the challenges of survival and reproduction. The bee's role as a master pollinator is a marvel of natural engineering. As it travels from flower to flower, its fuzzy body builds up a slight electrostatic charge, causing pollen to leap onto its hairs like iron filings to a magnet. This intricate dance is the very foundation of pollination, the transfer of pollen from the male anther of a flower to the female stigma. It is this simple, repeated act that allows plants to become fertilized and reproduce. This process is highly efficient. Many bee species exhibit floral constancy, focusing on one flower type per trip, ensuring pollen isn't wasted. This specialization makes them ideal couriers. Different bees also have unique skills. The bumblebee, for instance, uses buzz pollination, powerful vibrations necessary to release pollen from plants like tomatoes and blueberries. A single bee can visit thousands of flowers daily, its tireless work fueling the ecosystem. The ecological importance of this work is immense. By facilitating plant reproduction, bees act as fundamental architects of terrestrial ecosystems. They sustain biodiversity by ensuring the production of seeds, fruits, and berries that form the base of the food web. From insects to birds and mammals, a vast array of wildlife depends on the food sources bees help create. Their labor ripples outwards, supporting the health and complexity of entire biological communities. Bees are also guardians of genetic diversity. By carrying pollen between different plants, they promote cross-pollination, mixing the gene pool. This genetic variation is crucial for plant populations, making them more resilient to disease and climate change. Without bees, many plant species would decline, triggering a cascade of extinctions and unraveling the rich tapestry of life. This profound ecological role extends directly to our civilization. The same process that sustains wild ecosystems also underpins human agriculture. The productivity of these vast, orderly farm landscapes is often reliant on the unseen work of these tiny insects. It's estimated that 1 of every 3 bites of food we eat depends on pollinators, with bees being the most vital. Over 90 commercial crops rely on them, including many of our most nutritious foods: apples, strawberries, coffee, and chocolate. The California almond industry is almost entirely dependent on the annual migration of billions of honeybees, trucked in for the largest managed pollination event on Earth. The economic value of this service is staggering, contributing hundreds of billions of dollars to the global economy annually. Their contribution isn't just about quantity, but quality. Thorough pollination results in larger, more uniform, and more valuable produce. A poorly pollinated strawberry might be small and misshapen. A well-pollinated apple is round and full. For farmers, this means higher yields and better prices. For consumers, it means a more abundant and nutritious food supply. The humblebee is a silent partner in global food security, its tireless work filling our plates with the healthy foods that sustain us. It also covers honey and other products derived from bees, such as beeswax, propolis, and royal jelly, and their uses. A significant portion is dedicated to the threats bees face, including habitat loss, pesticides, specifically neonicotinoids, climate change, diseases, and parasites like the varroa mite, and discusses conservation efforts. Continuing conservation efforts. Narration. Beyond their ecological and agricultural importance, bees have occupied a profound and sacred space in the human imagination for millennia. Their story is woven into the very fabric of our cultures, religions, and philosophies. This journey into their cultural significance begins in the cradle of civilization, ancient Egypt. Here, the bee was far more than just an insect. It was a symbol of divine authority and royal power. The pharaohs of Lower Egypt incorporated the bee into their royal titulary, earning the title, He of the Sedge and the Bee. This tiny creature was believed to have been born from the tears of the sun, god Ra, linking it directly to the divine. Honey, its golden creation, was considered a food of the gods, used as a sacred offering in temples, a key ingredient in medicinal remedies, and even as a preservative in the sacred rites of mummification, ensuring the eternal preservation of the body. The intricate hieroglyphs and surviving papyri from this era provide a vivid testament to a society that not only practiced sophisticated apiculture, but also revered the bee as a cornerstone of its cosmic and political order. This reverence echoed across the Mediterranean into the classical world of Greece and Rome. In Greek mythology, bees were the sacred attendants of the gods. It was said that the infant Zeus was secretly raised in a cave on Crete. nourished by honey brought to him by the sacred bees, the Melissa. These nymphs, whose name means bees, were also associated with the Muses, suggesting that the sweetness of honey was analogous to the sweetness of poetic and divine inspiration. The priestesses of the Delphic oracle, the most powerful spiritual authorities of the ancient world, were themselves sometimes called bees, signifying their role as messengers of divine truth. Philosophers like Aristotle meticulously studied their behavior, laying the groundwork for scientific inquiry, while poets like Virgil, in his Georgics, romanticized the hive as a model of an ideal, harmonious society, a perfect kingdom in miniature. For the Romans, honey was a symbol of prosperity and the Golden Age, a gift from nature that signified peace and abundance. As new faiths emerged, the bee seamlessly integrated into their symbolic language. In Christianity, the beehive became a powerful allegory for the church itself, a community of faithful individuals working together under a single divine authority for the common good. Saint Ambrose, the patron saint of beekeepers, is often depicted with a beehive, a symbol of wisdom and eloquence. The pure wax from bees was, and still is, prescribed for the creation of the Paschal candle, representing the light of Christ. In Islam, the bee holds a uniquely esteemed position, with an entire chapter of the Quran, Surah An-Nahl, named after it. The text describes how God inspired the bee to build its home and produce honey, a substance described as a healing for mankind. This divine instruction elevates the bee to a creature acting on God's will, a model of instinctual obedience and a producer of a divinely sanctioned remedy. It is the bee's behavior that has provided humanity with its most enduring metaphors. The hive is a masterclass in social harmony and collective effort. The phrase "busy as a bee" is a universal idiom for diligence and tireless work. This symbolism of cooperation and productivity has been invoked by leaders and thinkers for centuries. The highly organized structure of the colony, with a single queen, male drones, and a vast workforce of sterile female workers, each performing specific tasks for the survival of the whole, was seen as the perfect model for a well-governed state. Monarchs and emperors, most notably Napoleon Bonaparte, adopted the bee as a personal emblem. For Napoleon, it represented the industrious spirit of the French Empire, a symbol of hard work, order, and the collective power of his people, contrasting with the old Bourbon fleur-de-lis. This symbolism carried through the Industrial Revolution, where the beehive became an icon of industry, efficiency, and the virtues of labor. In our contemporary world, the bee's symbolism has undergone another profound transformation. While still representing community and hard work, it has now become the global icon for environmental health and the fragility of our ecosystems. As bee populations face unprecedented threats from habitat loss, pesticides, and climate change, their plight has become a powerful and urgent narrative. The bee is now a canary in the coal mine, its well-being intrinsically linked to our own. Its image is emblazoned on everything from organic food labels to environmental protest signs, symbolizing sustainability, biodiversity, and the critical need for ecological stewardship. The bee reminds us that the health of our planet depends on the health of its smallest, most industrious inhabitants. From a symbol of divine kingship and a model for utopian society to a modern-day emblem of ecological consciousness, the bee has remained a constant and powerful mirror for humanity's highest ideals and deepest anxieties. Its enduring presence in our collective story is a testament to the profound and unbreakable bond between our species and this remarkable insect.